Deceive Inc. is on high alert. If you're interested in Deceive Inc., then you've come to the right place. We're going to be going over the latest update in Deceive Inc. Deceive Inc. High Alert update is now live. So this is a post from the community manager, Yashiro. And yeah, let's see what we have in store. So, High Alert update. Sound the alarm. The High Alert update is here. Welcome or welcome back, agents, for our first intra-season content update. As you might have guessed by the title, this update is all about raising the consequences for reckless action and making the playfield far more advantageous for stealth plays. So this is something that a lot of the deceiving community have been talking about. People are just running around shooting. They're not playing a stealth game. It's meant to be a spy game. People are playing it like it's, you know, the generic FPS shooting game. So I'm glad that, you know, Deceive Inc are trying to make it a little bit more stealthy. So let's just talk about what changes they're making. This has been a very clear thread of feedback where the overwhelming majority of the community agrees. You want more reason to hesitate before shooting and greater advantages when getting the drop on someone that did not. This is what the update is about. Of course, it also comes with a bevy of bug fixes and targeted balance fixes around some of our most high-profile issues. Before we go in, we should specify that this is not a full season update and that Catalog 2 and its content shall be discussed a bit further down the line. This update is a step in giving you more regular content without waiting for a full seasonal update to do so. For now, let's talk about High Alert and what it means for you on the field. So what better place to start than the very often requested Heat 2.0. So yeah, the Heat system, if you've been playing the game, that you know, the Heat system is, I wouldn't say it's useless, but 9 times out of 10 is kind of, sometimes you don't even remember it's there. You gotta kill, at the moment, as of the time of recording this, well, not at the time, but like just before recording this, up until this point, you would have had to kill 3 NPCs just to get level 1 of your Heat system. So, and the thing is, it didn't apply to security guards, so you can kind of just go around killing all the guards. That's who you're usually going to be killing anyway. So it just didn't really feel right that the Heat system didn't apply to the security guard. So now that it does, you know, I'm glad that they've made that change. So, but let's actually see in detail what changes they've made. So, general changes. When we introduced the Heat system with Misery Empire, the feedback we received was loud and clear. More players want more consequences to be allowed, and we aim to deliver this rework. First and foremost, Heat 2.0 is a more robust framework for the future. It allows us to tweak many more values around Heat in a much faster fashion than we used to be able to with the previous iteration of the system. On top of that, we reworked the entirety of the system to be not only much more present, but also clearer and more reliable at a glance in the middle of action. So let's dive in. Damage-based Heat. How you obtain, I've forgotten how to, it's my first video in a while, allow me. How you obtain Heat is no longer tied to downing an NPC, but directly to damage dealt. So this is kind of a nerf to that people that do a lot of damage. Chavez, Yumi, Ace, even Hans, you know, these characters with one shot or one bullet, they do quite a bit of damage. So if you're now basing it on damage dealt, it's gonna be a little bit of an indirect nerf to the harder hitting characters like, let's say, Madame Shu, Larson, Cavalier. They can, you know, easily spy check people and gain less heat because their weapons don't do as much damage as, you know, people like Chavez, Ace, and so on. So yeah, you gain heat relative to the damage you dealt to an NPC versus their max health. This means that single tapping an NPC to do a spy check will now yield heat, and downing an NPC will still offer the full penalty. Tweaked values. You now gain more heat than before by fully downing an NPC. It will take 2 NPCs. So this is, I would say it's a significant change, going from 3 NPCs to 2. We'll see just how much of a difference it does make, but you know, it's a step in the right direction. To gain a single heat level, the VIP is an exception to this rule, giving much more heat if attacked. Heat from scolding. If you get scolded by a non-guard NPC, so scolding is when you're like getting told off by the staff members, getting told off by security, you know, getting told off by technicians, VIP, all that kind of stuff. That's what the scolding is. You will slowly build up your heat over time when you're getting scolded. Penalty level changes. In the original implementation of heat, you would gain a short penalty right when you downed an NPC with a high enough heat level. This penalty had its own timer, independent of the heat level decrementing. In Heat 2.0, the heat penalties will stay as long as you are currently within the heat level bracket. This means that you need to let heat vent down to get rid of the penalties. To compensate for this and increased heat from multiple sources, heat now vents a little bit faster than before while in cover. I guess they're making some nice changes. It's not all doom and gloom. They're, you know, doing a little bit of give and take. The 3 levels now have clearer status effects with the names Heat Level 1, 2 and 3, and a different visual look to the vulnerable effect. The guard situation. Guards will now give heat. Yep, this is what we've all been asking. Well, this is what most of us have been asking for, because like I said, it just didn't really feel like the heat system was doing enough. So we'll see what changes they've made. Guard will now give heat like any NPC would. The intent is for players to start seeing heat as a resource. Spending it to get rid of some guard is going to bring risk to a player that they will need to weigh correctly. The spy hit buffer. We added a mechanic to limit accidental heat gains in fights with all the changes to the system. So yeah, this is something that usually happens as well. You're in the middle of a fight, you're trying to kill or knock out an agent, and then you might just hit a couple NPCs by accident. So it's good that they're, you know, putting something in place so that even if you do hit an NPC, if it's by accident, then you'll see what they say. There is a buffer after hitting a spy recently, but you won't gain any heat at all if you hit an NPC by mistake. This buffer is short and is only intended to prevent random heat gains during real combat. So the only thing is, I'm a little bit worried about it. They haven't said how short this buffer is. I'm gonna assume it's, I don't know, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be something like maybe 2 seconds, who knows, maybe 3 seconds, I don't know, we'll see. Elite guards. After repeated catastrophic failures of their security, the VIPs are putting together a new training program to deploy elite guards to the field. These new guards have heightened access. So this is another thing that a lot of, well, I definitely have been talking about this. There needs to be an NPC roaming the terminal vaults. It's a bit like the terminal vaults, they're too empty. You go in there, it's empty. If anyone else is in there, you know, 9 times out of 10, maybe even 99 times out of 100, you know that it's going to be a player, because the only way before this update that a security could get into the terminal vaults is if someone let them through, or like they tailgate the VIP, and then the VIP will tell them off anyway, so they'll leave. So yeah, this is a good change. That these guards have heightened access, so capable of entering technician rooms, higher caliber weapons that deal more damage, and improved endurance, making them capable of taking more damage before going down. Elite guards. So in a way, this is kind of a buff to, I don't know, another indirect nerf, but I think this time it's an indirect nerf to the lower hitting characters, because let's say someone like Ace is probably still gonna one tap these security guards, whereas someone like Larson, he's gonna be having to land all of his headshots. So for certain agents it might be a little bit tough. These security guards are gonna be like final bosses or mini bosses even. Where are we? Elite guards will be very few and far between before the vault, but you can no longer depend on the fact that nobody but a spy and the VIP can enter vault terminal locations. You also better watch out inside the vault. Picking a fight in the technician rooms there just got more dangerous. As always, we'll be monitoring how elite guards affect the game, and we hope it will add a new layer of tension to every operator. This is going to be a good change. I think this is probably the change that I'm most excited about, because yeah, like I said, I don't know, the vault terminals, it was just too, like, as soon as you see someone you just shoot them. There was no reason not to shoot them, because like I said, only real people could go into the vault terminals, unless you happen to get a VIP in them, which is quite rare as well. So yeah, hello elite guards. Hopefully, you know, they make a nice little, they mix up the gameplay a little bit. Spy cache cover restore to help again. So this is quite a huge update as well. Spy cache cover restore to help against the encroaching presence of heat and the danger presented by elite guards. Spy caches have been outfitted with a new cover booster as well as a slick new look. You'll now instantly recover when looting one of these caches, allowing you to just disappear and go back into stealth play after a tense fight. So I kind of feel like if spy packs, I mean, because I'm just thinking about Red right now, and I'm thinking if Red's whole thing is getting her cover back but everyone else can do it, it doesn't really make, I don't know, I feel like it doesn't make her as unique now that everyone after a kill, boom, they get their cover back straight away. But I guess, you know, it is on her ability, whereas other people need to pick up this cache, so it is still different. But yeah, yeah, this will also help players that just had very close fights and would have difficulty losing guards, potentially resulting in their death by giving them a clear out when looting the cache. Dossier menu. So this is the information on all the NPCs with all of their names. That's nice. And they've also given us the status effects as well, which is also quite good if you don't know them. XP booster change. We received a lot of feedback after the introduction. Yeah, so this one didn't even make sense to me. If you enable the XP booster, it would just be ticking down even if you're not in a match. So now it seems they've made it so that if you're in a match, that's when the XP booster timer will start going down, so you get more out of your XP booster basically. Cover change interact time tweak. Interacting with an NPC to change cover is now faster than before, not requiring you to hold for as long to take their appearance. This limits situations where you would try to take a cover from a walking NPC and have them leave the range before completing. This was one of those like quality of life things that needed to get changed, because it just didn't make sense. Because it's like you're walking past someone, you're taking their cover, but then you had to stop or you had to go backwards, and it was just annoying. Crouch fatigue. We are introducing an equivalent to jump fatigue that will affect players. So yeah, this is to stop people doing that stupid, I mean, this is something that's always been in FPS games, but it just looks silly. And yeah, so yeah, they're implementing a crouch fatigue so that people can't just keep on crouch spamming in the middle of a fight. Players will gain a progressively worse speed debuff when crouching more than 3 times within a short period of time. That will gradually go away as they stop crouching. This is mostly to remove the advantages of mashing crouches in combat to make yourself harder to hit, leading to uninteresting combat. So we got some new inks as well. 10 new inks that can be earned through loot briefcases or in-game credits. Okay, so yeah, some new inks. Look alright, look decent. We got better support for aspect ratios. I'm not gonna read that, kind of self-explanatory. Global agent changes, so now we have, oh, we got agents balance as well, so we're gonna see what the agent balance is saying, and then I think that will basically be it. Yeah, that's gonna be it. So let's just get through this. Where have I gone? I've gone too far. We're slightly reducing the time headshot negation lasts for after blowing someone's cover. The current duration was a disadvantage for a few different weapons that would lose more shots than intended before landing in a headshot. So yeah, I think this would hurt people like someone that shoots fast, like Madame Shu. Actually, Madame Shu, Red's first gun as well, but I think it mainly hurts Madame Shu, so this is a nice little indirect buff to her. I mean, it's anyone that plays aggressive, I guess this will be, you know, a nice little buff for. Making it a bit shorter will even the playing field a bit more with slow rate of fire, high damage weapons that, wait, what? Slow rate? We're not affected by this, yeah, considering the time it took for them to get a following. Yeah, so the people that already do quite a bit of damage and have slow shooting weapons, they weren't affected too much by this. So basically, if you don't know, when you lose your cover, you can't take headshot damage for, well, it used to be 1 second. So let's say you punch someone, they went for the headshot straight away. If you were a bit too quick, you would get body damage instead of headshot damage. So now they're making it so that if you punch someone, they lose their cover, that headshot protection only lasts for 0.7 seconds now. So, you know, you can get that headshot damage quicker now, basically. All right, agents balance. One of the running themes of the changes you will see below that will be the adjustments to reload times. We are revisiting most of the cast to make sure the downtime given by reloading fits their overall playstyle and gives an edge to the rival party that can be capitalized on. We are also making changes to a multitude of stats, including headshot modifiers on weapons that perform too strongly currently in the meta. So we're gonna try breeze through this quickly. Ace, we're just gonna be looking at the stats of each of their weapons, unless I'm particularly interested in that character, so there's a little bit of bias. So yeah, the reload time on Ace's base weapon has been increased from 2.3 to 2.75. Her second weapon reload time has been increased as well from 1.75 to 2. Damage has been nerfed as well from 22 to 20, and the crit multiplier has also been lowered as well. That's on her second weapon. That's what her third weapon. Reload time has gone up, damage has gone up, well, from 45 to 46, and the crit multiplier has gone from 1.8 to 1.75. I can't be bothered to do the maths now, but that might mean she can't one shot anymore. Well, in certain situations anyway. Yeah, I can't be bothered to do the math, so yeah. Passive. Ace's passives are currently very difficult to place in a fight and are most of the time only viable as an opening move. While we don't want them to be too easy to pull off in a live fight, we think reducing the charge time slightly will be a beneficial to her game plan. So yeah, they've reduced the charge time on her base weapon and her second weapon as well, from 1.3 to 1.15 seconds. Cavalier's getting a bit more changes around her weapons. Her dragoons have been underperforming a little while, and we want to make them more competitive overall. We are also adjusting the hydras to calm down their very powerful headshots a bit, and making the wyverns faster to reload at the cost of a bit of headshot power. So her base weapon, the dragoons, the reload time has been lowered and the damage has been increased. So lowered from 2 seconds to 1.7, and the damage has been increased from 11 to 12. Nice little, tiny little buff. Hydras, her second weapon, reload time has been increased from 2 seconds to 2.3, and the fire rate has been lowered from 2.5 to 2.2 shots per second. The damage has also been lowered, so her second weapon has quite huge changes, quite huge nerfs. And her third weapon, wyverns, reload time 2 seconds to 1.8 seconds, so that's a buff. And the crit multiplier has been nerfed as well, 1.5 to 1.3. So yeah, her weapons, her first weapon got buffed. Her second and third weapon, I would say, got nerfed. Chavez, the greatest. I love me some Chavez. Weapons. The Vigilante has been outshining the Sentinel in most situations previously. As such, we are lowering its damage a bit to really focus into the fast firing alternative niche, with some downsides built into that. The Duke is getting a reload time revision in line with the rest of the cast to really focus on its high risk nature if you miss your shots. So the base weapon is getting the fire rate, a slight increase of 0.05, so it's gone from fire rate 1.25 to 1.3, so that's a tiniest buff. I don't know how much of a difference that will make, but yeah, we'll see. His second weapon, Vigilante, the damage has been decreased. I'm sure it keeps on getting decreased. I'm sure it was on 25 before, then it got nerfed to 22, and now it's 20. I think that's how it's been going anyway. Crit multiplier has been nerfed as well, so it's gone from 2 to 1.75. Oof. And the limb multiplier as well has been also nerfed, so it's gone from 0.9 to 0.75, so you're going to be doing even less damage from limb shots. So oof. Chavez's second weapon, I don't know. But Duke, his third weapon, the best gun in the game. Reload time, they've nerfed it a little bit. It's gone from 2.8 seconds to 3 seconds reloading, and that 2.8 seconds already feels like a lifetime. So yeah, that's a little bit rough. That's a little bit rough. Hands, I'm interested to see what they say about Hands, because Hands, at first a lot of people hated Hands. They didn't really know what they were doing with him. They didn't know what to do with him. So yeah, now after the game's been out for a while, I feel like a lot of people know what Hands gameplay is. You get close, you shoot your orb, or you trap them in your cage. They can't move because they're slowed. They can't use their abilities to escape. This is especially good against people that need to use their ability to win a fight, like or even to escape, like Larson, Madame Shu, even Chavez. It does, just totally wipes out his whole tanky thing. But anyway, let's see what they say. Hands is not getting extensive changes on this patch. We wanted to let the community know we are currently looking at his passive abilities for a future rework. We'll keep you posted on the progress on this front as we get closer to season 2. Weapons. So, what? His first weapon's gone from 1.9 to Oh, I thought that said 1.2. I was about to say. Okay, so his first weapon being nerfed a little bit. Reload time gone from 1.9 to 2.2. Jab reload time gone from 1.7 to 1.85, so that's another nerf. And his third weapon has gone from 1.35 to 1.6. Basically Hans has been nerfed, but it seems like they wanna give him better passes, I'm assuming. Yeah. All right, Larson, everyone's favorite character. Larson is doing very well currently. For the time being, we are only adjusting his pickpocket passive to be in line with Heat 2.0. So yeah, with Larson's second passive, you go to pickpocket someone, but if they're an NPC, then you would gain heat. So they're just you know, putting those heat values in line with the new system 2.0. Madame Shu, weapons reload time, they've nerfed her base weapon, and they've also nerfed her second weapon as well. No, they've buffed her first weapon actually. It's gone from 1.75 to 1.7 seconds, which is, I don't know if that's barely gonna make a difference. That's 0.05 seconds. Longshan has gone from, which is a second weapon, the crossbow third 3-burst weapon has gone from 1.5 to 1.9, so that's quite a big change. All right, we are nearly there. So we got red. All right, her base weapon has been nerfed in terms of reload time. It seems like they've just given everyone a reload time nerf, basically, more or less. So yeah, her first weapon has gone from 1.55 to 1.7, which is a nerf, and her second weapon, which is the semi-automatic sniper or semi assault rifle, whatever you want to call it, Jack of Heart, the reload time has gone from 1.55 to 2, so that's quite a big jump. That's a whole, basically half a second extra to reload that weapon. The damage got nerfed as well. Oh no, people love that weapon too much, I think, with red. So that's why they've nerfed it so much. It's gone from 20 damage to 18, and the limb multiplier has gone from 0.9 to 0.75 as well. It's unfortunate. Red's Sweet Embrace has been performing extremely well ever since her debut. The power of giving cover back to your team and a small bit of immediate healing is already quite potent. As such, we are removing the cleansing aspects that this passive had. Cleansing status effects would lead to frustrating encounters that are hard to understand for rival players and could lead to a variety of non-desirable exploits like cleansing heat related. What? On the flip side, Love Bomb has been an underwhelming part of Red's kit, and we hope that making its radius non-visible to rival, yeah, because it didn't, I mean, this is going to be a huge change actually. Bit more use, so yeah, it's more of a trap now. Before, if Red puts down her ability, they step into it, they get their cover back and neutralize all that kind of stuff slowed. But if you saw the area where she put it, you just don't need to walk into it. So now you know, they can't see it now. They made it invisible, so that's good. Sweet Embrace no longer cleanses, and radius is no longer, yeah, so this is good stuff. All right, we got Square next. Square's getting some pretty big changes. He's been performing very strongly for a long time. Nerfs. Okay, so his base weapon, they've given him one extra bullet in his mag, so from 10 to 11. Reload time has gone from 1.3 to 1.75 seconds. Fire rate gone from 3.1 to 3. And his damage has gone from 17 to 15. That's on his base weapon. Oh, Mod 1 Trident, reload time has gone from 1.45 to 2 seconds. And Javelin, mag size has gone from 8 to 7. Reload time from 1.7 to 2.2. Fire rate 2.4 to 2. And crit multiplier from 2 to 1.75. So yeah, Squire, so I'm sorry Squire, they've done you dirty. I mean, because I know he's meant to be a vanguard, but he was just kind of killing people, especially with his third weapon. You just shoot them a couple times, no, like 3 times I think, and they're dead if you get headshots anyway. So I guess these nerfs were kind of needed, but he is a vanguard at the same time, him and Chavez, so they do need to be able to, you know, look after themselves. So we'll see where this puts Squire in the current meta. And they've also done something about his passive. We've been turning down damage reduction across the board recently, and Aegis cover escaped most of it since it was not tied to the resistance status effect. We are directly tweaking this passive with this update to once again make Squire less of a terror on the field. So yeah, this passive, it basically made Squire have his cover for longer when he breaks it, or when the enemy breaks it. And like I was talking about before, when you break your cover, you, for like 1 second, well now it's 0.7 seconds, but you don't take headshot damage. So even if you broke someone's cover and then you shot them again, you'd still get body shot damage, which is always 9 times out of 10 is going to be less than getting a headshot. So now they've made that cover for Squire last 1.4 seconds. It used to be 1.7. And the damage reduction is gone. Wait, what? Damage blocks 50%. Okay, so yeah, he had 50% damage reduction, and now it's gone down to 25. So that's quite a big nerf as well. Yumi. This seems like this is the last character change. So they've looked at her passive, it seems like. We are continuing our work to make Yumi a more viable agent. We nerfed her base passive pretty hard at launch to counter gadget spamming strategies, and while we not go back anywhere near the amount of passive gadget regen she had back then, we are upping the amount to 65% to allow her to lean on gadgets a little bit more. We are also giving more expertise cooldown refund for energy catalyst to make it a more enticing and gameplay defining choice. So her base passive, the cooldown reduction has gone from 50 to 65. So I think that's when, if you destroy your gadget, you suddenly get back some cooldown. So there, but before it was like too much. Like she'll use, like, let's say like a bounce pad, and then a few seconds later she has a bounce pad again. So they had to tone it down. So they're giving her a little bit back this time. Booby trap expanded the size and duration of bubbles created from her booby traps. So this is when she destroys her gadgets. It creates an EMP field, basically. I think it's an EMP field. Maybe a slow as well if they walk through it. Energy catalyst expertise cooldown returned from 33% to 50%. Okay, bug fixes, the general fixes, and this is the last. We're in the home straight. If you've got this far, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it. Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe as well. I do a lot of Deceive Inc content, and I don't want you to miss out. We recently just moved house, so that's why I haven't really uploaded as much as I used to, but as we eventually pack away, you'll see the streams and the videos come back. But yeah, general bug fixes. Fixed an issue that allowed players to bunny hop in online matches. Fixed an issue that caused agent select preview videos to still play during gameplay. What? Okay. Fixed an issue that caused players to be unable to recover under specific circumstances. That was quite a game breaking one. Rival spies' bodies no longer disappear. That's good, because I don't understand why they disappeared in the first place. Because there would be like everyone dying, and then but you can't find any bodies, so you wouldn't even know that people are dying. It didn't make sense. Fixed an issue where the amped up effect would stay stuck after the pre-game lobby. Oh, I ain't seen that one before. Fixed the crash caused by dying while the drone is active. I don't use drones, so I'll never ever find out. But I guess that's a buff for the drone users. Fixed charm overlay staying stuck if player disconnected before the effect ends. Fixed an issue where spies would be missing in the end screen if in drone or that's funny. Fixed revive UI not apparent if revive started before spectator mode started. Fixed issue leading to invisible weapons in player's hand, mostly with Cavalier. Changed interact prompt location on briefcase and spy cache to prevent instances of them being non-lootable. Okay. Fixed issue leading to charm effect following characters even when immaterial. Fixed an issue that allowed players to extract at an extraction that was previously... What? I didn't even know that happened. Removed kill cam options from the menu until it's actually ready. Ah, come on, give us the kill cams. We've been waiting patiently. Customs, I'm guessing we need the customs as well. We want to play with our friends and beat each other up. Fixed areas where players could clip into environments in Fragrant Shore. And let's talk about the agent bugs as well. Fixed Cavalier is a setup zone overlapping with floors underneath. What? I'm assuming that's the one where she places down a trap and anyone uses any devices within the trap, they get trapped by Cavalier. Fixed Cavalier's base passive melee stopping her run. Fixed an issue where Larson would have his weapon disappear when using ADS in mid-air out of cover. Okay. Fixed Larson being able to hack a vault terminal while invisible. What? How do people even figure this stuff out? Why are you trying to... I mean, it's a smart thing to try, but it's just not something that I would think of even trying. Hands incapacitator or visual now fits with the actual collision size. Fixed an issue that allowed players to heal faster in Yumi's bubble by leaving and re-entering. Oh my, is this what people are doing? You guys are cheaters. Agents will also find that this update has brought the first double XP event to the game. So yeah, starting from tomorrow. Alright people, that is all of the Deceive Inc changes. We still have custom matches to come. We still have kill cams to come. Those are two big ones, especially customs for me anyway. I think there's meant to be a new map coming as well, so yeah, there's quite a few things coming. But yeah, if you're interested in Deceive Inc, make sure you like and subscribe, and check out, I don't know where I'm meant to be pointing, but check out this video, whichever side it's on. YouTube is saying that you'll like it, and yeah, until next time, do what makes you happy. Peace.